Hi, in this video I'll be showing you how to make a dress for a baby. Precisely, I made this for a baby of 6 months, but you can use the same method for babies, kids up to 8-10 years, and to fit perfectly well. I'm Isabella Ifoma Dejumawo, Creative Director of Bell Fashion Academy. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, share and like if you find this video helpful. And please, you may want to stick around to the end because I will show you how I cover the bodice part, which is made of bridal satin with tulle net. It's neat, it's professional without the dress actually showing. So you may want to stick around to the end. And this is something you can use for any project of your choice. For your blouse, I have it in my blouse. It's really lovely and it comes out very well. So stick around to the end. Let's get started. Start by folding your fabric. The front is on fold, the back will be separate. There will be a zipper which I'll open later, and that's 1 inch zipper allowance. So I'll begin with my origin. This line will be my origin, and from this line I'll start marking my other points. My shoulder to chest measurement, which is 4.5, my shoulder to waist measurement, which is 6.5. Those are basically the two measurements I will mark. And then I'm going to use my ruler to draw that out. Next thing, I'll mark my shoulder. I'll take my shoulder measurement. I'm using 7.5. So divide by 2, that's what I'll use there. My chest measurement, I'll do it divide by 4 plus ½ inch ease allowance. Remember, I'm starting from my center front plus ½ inch ease allowance. Then for my waist, I'll mark my waist measurement plus ½ inch ease allowance plus ½ inch dart, even though I will not take the dart. For children clothes, you don't take that most of the times. So this is just what I will do. I'll connect these 2 points and connect my shoulder point to my chest point like so. Now I'll take my shoulder slant of 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, that's what I'm using there, and then I'll divide this part by 2 and then take it in by 3/4 of an inch as well. And then my neck width of 2 1/4 and my neck depth, front neck depth of 2 1/4 as well. The back neck depth is 3/4 of an inch. So I'll just connect my points with a curve, and then my shoulder slant, I'll join my line there. Okay, it's that simple. The next thing, I'll draw my armhole like so, connect my points on the armhole, and that's it. Now I'm going to add my seam allowance. My side seam allowance is 1 inch. Every other seam allowance is ½ inch. So I'll just connect all my lines. My zipper allowance is 1 inch. You can see it there. So I'll go over to cut out my fabric. So I don't want to cut it immediately. Like now, I'm going to cut out the back first because the back is not as deep as the front, so that I'm marking my back depth, my back neckline now of 3/4 of an inch. So I'll cut it out first like this. Then I'll open up the back because there's going to be a zip at the back. Okay, now separate the 2 pieces, the 2 patterns, your front and the back, so I can cut the front neck depth. So now I'm cutting it off. So that's it. That's simple. So I'm going to use tulle net to cover the front. Like I said, later on I will show you how to do that for any piece at all you want to cover with tulle. So the skirt part, I already have my exact measurement for the length of my skirt right there. So my skirt part is 11 and a half, which is what I have there already. So I'll just mark my waist measurement. My waist is supposed to be divided by 4 ordinarily, but I'll divide by 2. That's to say times 2 of what the waist is going to be. That's what this is going to be. Then I'm going to slant it out with about 2 inches. So instead of having something straight, I'm making it have a slant with about 2 inches, like you are seeing now. This is for the front. Just cut it off, and I will just place that on the flip side, just so I use exactly what I have by the side. I hope you understand, because I'm trying to manage this fabric. So I've placed it exactly as it is on the side. So what I'll do next is just to add my seam allowance. That's what I'm saying, is that you cut exactly what you have in front for the back, but remember to add your zipper allowance of 1 inch like we did on the upper parts, that's on the bodice. And this is it. Not your zipper, where your zipper is going to start from, just so you know that that's where it's going to start from. So the lining, this lining is by 60, so I just folded it. I want it to be a bit full inside, so I'm not using anything less than that. I folded it into 4, as you can see, but it's just going to be a long piece of fabric. So this is my skirt part, the bottom part of my gown. I'll cut lining for this at least 2 inches shorter than the actual length of my gown. So this is what I will just cut for my lining. And then this is I'm using part of my bridal satin that is left to add to the bottom. So you can see I've dropped it a little, so it's not going to start from the top, at least somewhere around where the zipper is going to end. So I'm cutting this because I want to pleat this on this lining. So I'll cut 2 of this because I already need it to be long to be able to, for me to be able to pleat on the lining, just so I have that bulkiness. I don't want to use hard net because she's a baby. I don't like using hard net for babies or net for babies. If I have to, I can use plenty of tulle. I want the sleeve to go 2 inches into the armhole, so I'm going to use 4 inches as the length because it's going to have some pleats on top of it, and then the width will be 2.5 inches. So I'm just marking that out, and I remember to add my seam allowances all through. You can see I just use the curve to connect what I just explained, and it's going to have a pleat like this. So that's it. The length, like I said, is going to be 4 inches because I want it to go down with about 2 inches. So 4 inches because of my pleats. So I'm going to cut the excess I have here out, and that's basically what the sleeve will look like. So now to what I told you about, I want to show you how to cover with tulle net any part at all. And this is the same method you use to cover bodies, whatever you want to cover. So first off, you want to get a size that will cover your fabric you want to cover and a little more than it. And then this is 4 pieces I have cut already. 6 pieces, sorry, I have cut already. 3 for one, 3 for the other sleeve. So then I will just pick 2 pieces of the tulle, place it properly and pleat on the middle, just like you're seeing. So I'll go over to my sewing machine to join that. I've joined that, and you can see what it is. Flip the two now to one side like this. Flip everything to one side, and then take the third piece, single third piece, place on top of it, and pleat next to that line you have just sewn, very close to it. There should be no space, like this. So you just keep pleating next to it, and then I'll just go back to stitch it, and that's it. So it's done already. So you now have 3 on one side, 3 on one side. So open it in such a way that you have 3 parts on one side, 3 parts on one side. That way you would have covered anything like the stitch line, and it's going to be neat. So I'll just go over to sew, and that's what you have seen. I've stitched it round, then I'll cut it. That's it. Thanks for viewing.